Hey everybody, welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show. I'm Heidi, this is Benjamin, and we're going to play some music in a bit, and we want you to create as weirdly unique as possible.
Because we don't want to be the only ones doing it.
Yeah.
We won't feel alone if you're creating. Big thank you to our patrons who support us each month. It's encouraging and it's invaluable. If you have not gotten on Patreon, or if you're a patron and haven't checked recently, we updated our perks.
New perks.
So you want to check them out. And if you're considering supporting us, go to patreon.com, search Chasing Ebenezer, and it'll give you payment options.
Help us out, please.
Help us out.
We would so appreciate that. And if you're going to be in Oregon in February, we've got some shows scheduled down in Eugene. People will be at Sam Bond's garage with Ryan, our drummer, on February 13th. Running Dogs is a lovely pub out in St. Helens, February 22nd. And Whelan's in Portland, February 28th. So we're going to have a good time.
You have options, so you should come check it out. It's going to be fun.
And one more thing before we move on to our topic of the day. Last week we talked about the rhythm of silence. We always encourage you to create something, so I created something.
Which is super cool, by the way.
Thank you. What's in there? Yeah. Anyway, this is my representation of silence. I might add a few more things, but I just like the way it flows.
It looks really good hung up on our wall.
Yeah.
It really does.
But, or as a hat.
Yeah, I can see that working.
Okay.
I can see it working.
Moving right along to the topic of the day.
Today we are going to talk about poetry. It even just saying the word poetry makes you sound fancy, doesn't it?
Because that's what I am.
That's
classy,
what it is.
Classy.
So I was going to ask you, Heidi, since you are the writer and reader person in our relationship. I read a lot, but you read more. What is the difference, would you say, between reading a novel or another type of reading material versus reading a poem?
Well, Ben, I would say, you already know what I'm going to say, because we had to do this video twice. It would be the difference of looking at a painting versus watching a full animated film. A painting is one idea, one snapshot, where like a movie with animated especially is like lots of images, and you're kind of following an arc, a journey, where a painting is like one idea. So kind of a poem I would see is like one snapshot, one idea or image or reflection, whereas a book you're kind of going on this big extravaganza journey.
So a book, it's a little bit more. You have a beginning, you have a middle, you have an end.
Hopefully.
Right, which for poetry, at least in most genres of poetry, it's kind of timeless. Well, that might be frustrating for people who want to get to the end, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might be a little bit of a struggle. I recently joined a men's group, and one of the things that we do in this group is we read poetry. And it really has changed the way I engage with a poem. Because for a while, it was like, okay, what's the meaning? What does it mean? That
Deeper.
Was always, trying to figure it out. And writers will tell you that's not how you read poetry. What I've learned is that reading poetry is all about experiencing it, letting it do something to you. And so it's taken a lot of pressure off of my need to be smart and figure out what the author was trying to do, versus letting myself just be moved to tears, maybe tilt my head sometimes, but to just let the poem engage me and let it be what it is. And that's been really helpful. And it's been really calming for me personally. If you struggle with anxiety, read poetry, because it forces you to slow down.
Maybe not Edgar Allan Poe, even though I love him, though. Don't read that if you're anxious, maybe.
I want to just repeat back what you just said.
What?
Not Edgar Allan Poe, even though. It's like, though I love him, though, or something like that. You kind of like...
I'm just a natural poet.
You're a natural poet.
I'm a linguist.
We wanted to share with you some of our favorite poets.
Hand them over.
Okay, ladies first.
I'm gonna hold.
Oh, you're gonna be the.
I'm gonna be the model.
The model.
You can
Okay.
be the talker.
So this is the late Mary Oliver. This is actually a poetry handbook where she gives instruction for beginning poets, which is great. But she is an amazing writer. Sad to have lost her this past year, but her poetry is really good. You might have to pronounce this.
Louise. Honey, Louise.
Louise.
It's a name.
I know it's. Husbands, you marry your wives so they can correct your grammar.
Especially her first poem in here. What is it called? Oh, it's the Wild Iris. Yeah, it's the title. This poem is unbelievable.
It is really, really good.
Read it.
This is a guy by the name of Stephen Roach, who, by the way, hosts an amazing podcast for creatives called Makers and Mystics.
Stephen, I'm sorry that we have literally destroyed the cover of your book, but that means it's good.
It has been put to good use. And lastly, but certainly not least,
Bob Frost.
Mr. Bob Frost, Robert Frost.
Robert.
His poem, The Road, what was it? The Road Less Traveled.
The Road Not Taken.
Gosh.
Clearly, it's our favorite.
It is my favorite poem, but I'm really bad about titles.
The Road Not Taken, right?
Yeah.
Do you not know what your favorite poem is called?
Hold on. Yeah.
Oh, you road.
You can comment. Oh, here it is. The Road Not Taken is what it was.
It's your favorite.
We're real here. We're going to be real.
Favorite poem.
I love poetry. I love poetry that deals with nature, that deals with kind of the mystical side of life. So those are just a few to get you started.
Poems about silence.
Okay. All right. So you're going to read.
Prompt. Oh, your prompt.
We got to do the prompt. The prompt is read a poem, write a poem.
Be a poem.
That's your prompt. If you have favorite poets that you like, please post them in the comments section. That'll help other people find stuff to read this week. And to kind of close out, I'm going to read a poem that I wrote.
Read to us, poet.
Okay.
Poet. You are the poet laureate of the Chasing Ebenezer show.
Wow.
I dub you.
You dub me?
I dub you,
okay.
Poet laureate.
Okay. So the poem's called Pathways.
Serious business.
That's why I'm not looking at you. All right. Pathways.
Shh, silence.
I swell in sewers, subways, and the subconscious. My breath smells of dank air, so I exhale through my nose so as not to offend. I would rather go unnoticed, ghostified in the shadows, than transformed into a salable sanctum for the complacent, who feign wonder from the safety of their couch. So if you dare to venture close, don't mind the cobwebs and bring a light. These corridors may be holding more than the monsters that sneak at night. There we go.
Whoa.
I made it through without
deep.
cracking up with you.
Sorry. It's hard to it's like to sit next to someone reading a poem like that. I'm like, what do I do? Do I look at you? Do I look at the camera? Where do I look? Okay, gang.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
We're going to play a little mood music to help you find something to read or give you an idea to write about. So happy creating. We'll see you next week.
Go be a poem.
Bye.